we'll go into sort of how practical it would be in just a minute, but obviously the first thing that ran through my head would be, how would you get somebody to microdose food throughout the day without getting them to sort of, you know, chew on a bit of celery every 5 minutes just to get a couple of calories in. What's going on, guys? It's Jacob, Sunday Lifters. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody has had a sort of really good break for Christmas, spending time with your family, your friends, plenty of drinking, plenty of eating and all that sort of good stuff, getting in the festive spirit. I know I have. It's been a good break, but it's good to be back in front of the camera doing a bit of work again. I didn't want to take too much of a break from it, to be honest. So without further ado, let's jump into today's video. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm not necessarily trying to teach you anything, I'm just trying to discuss an idea that I had over the holidays when I was sort of looking into sort of microdosing this supplement called Huperzine A for sort of neurological function and sort of help focus. I've never tried it before, so I'm just, you know, experimenting a little bit and seeing if it makes a difference. But while I was doing that, I had this idea that seemed pretty crazy at the time, and you know, we'll go into it. It still probably is quite impractical, to be honest, but in theory it might work. Could you microdose food effectively? And the reason I had this idea is because in an earlier video, I'll put a link up, but we sort of discussed it. One was on about fasting and how you can get into autophagy and all the benefits that has. If you haven't watched the video, you haven't got time, basically what autophagy is in a nutshell is where when you're in a sort of nutrient or calorie deprived state for an extended period of time, usually between 48 and 72 hours or longer, you will enter a state called autophagy, which is where your body sort of cleans up any dead cells, makes way for new ones. It will repair sort of any damaged cells or defective ones, and basically does a complete police of your body. It's going to strip away visceral fat around the organs. So many health benefits you can get from this thing. And I thought, you know, people who do keto diets and people who do carnivore diets, people who do fasting mimicking diets, have all been shown to be able to sort of enter that state of autophagy, albeit sort of less optimal than doing a straight up fast, because as soon as you put nutrients in your body will sense that and open up different pathways. In order to use those nutrients effectively and sort of those pathways the body takes, those mechanisms of actions runs contrary to autophagy to some degree, but like I say, it's not impossible. What we tend to find is if you eliminate carbs or have very small amounts of carbs or just not very a very carb dense diet, you'll find it generally easier to enter autophagy. Now what I was thinking is, if you could enter autophagy and get all the benefits through doing these sort of diets, would it be possible to sort of microdose food throughout the day and almost trick your body into thinking it is in a state of a fasted state, effectively a low nutrient state for a prolonged period of time, and actually, you know, get these benefits while still eating? Obviously you wouldn't lose weight like you would on a fast, which could be a good or a bad thing depending on your goals. But you would sort of see all the fringe benefits like we discussed earlier of, you know, the reducing in visceral fat, the sort of potential anti-aging benefit, the anti-cancer benefit. Like I say, please watch the video if you haven't already. It sort of goes into all of this in more depth. So I did a Google to see if anybody had ever done this as an experiment to find a way of getting people to microdose food, and we'll go into sort of how practical it would be in just a minute. But obviously the first thing that ran through my head would be, how would you get somebody to microdose food throughout the day without getting them to sort of, you know, chew on a bit of celery every 5 minutes just to get a couple of calories in all throughout the day? Because that ain't going to work, because they're going to be, you know, they're not going to be wanting to eat all day. You know, you're probably going to get full, so you're not going to be able to eat throughout the day. But yeah, like I say, no studies done in humans yet. I don't think there's actually any studies done in animals. This is an area that just hasn't been looked into. Theoretically, a way you could do it, and you know, I don't know enough about it to be able to say exactly what you'd need to put into this, and nobody in their right mind would ever want to, but you could create these sort of microcalorie pills that people take throughout the day that sort of, you know, get their calories in. It might just be like 5 calories a pill that you have every X amount of minutes throughout the day, and do it that way. It's got micronutrients in it, you know, just in such small doses that your body might not even technically recognize it. I don't know. Like I say, this is all just a discussion. It's just an idea. It's not been done, so we just don't know. But it could potentially be, if they could find a way to make it practical, and, you know, studies were done and we found that some of these benefits were true to the theory, you know, that it could theoretically be done. Could microdosing food be a thing? Could it actually be an effective way of solving certain issues in people? We don't know. Hopefully in the future we'll actually see this come to light. I'd be really interested to see you know, the results they get. It might be that there are no benefits. It might be a complete waste of time, but we just don't know at this point. So through microdosing food, could we achieve autophagy? Could we get some of those fringe benefits? Could we leverage our biology to help achieve certain you know, health outcomes? You know, by giving this a go, we just don't know. I hope to see it in the future. Let me know what you guys think. As always, it's just a discussion. If you do want to work with me, you can email me at sundaylifters@gmail.com for food plans, coaching and workout plans. You can follow me on all my social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's at Sunday Lifters. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you drop this video a like, drop it a comment, helps the algorithms. Have a good holidays, guys. Cheers for tuning in. Happy New Year and all that. And I'll see you here again very soon.